recording will start now. Okay, so we're going to continue with IELTTA free class for speaking. And can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can see.
So let's get, today's session is about pronunciation in the IELTS test, in the speaking section. So pronunciation counts for 25% of your score in the IELTS speaking test. Okay. So let's focus on what features of pronunciation you should focus on when you are speaking during the test. The first question for you, if you don't have good pronunciation in English, what kinds of mistakes do you make? Can you write in the chat box? Yes, for example, the difference between p and b sounds. What else? F, for example, instead of saying f, you're gonna say z. This is for Egyptian, no more than any other nationalities, maybe. Yeah, this kind of mistakes. I want to talk to you about pronunciation. Here I went to talk to you about pronunciation, and here I want to talk to you about pronunciation. What do you expect? Which one is correct?
The first one.
The first one is meaningful. It means that it is pronounced in a better way. If you say, and instead of saying want, if you say went, it means that another meaning. It will give you another meaning. So it will cause a lot of confusion for the listener. If you say I want like this, it means I don't like to talk. So as you can notice from the examples that pronunciation, correct pronunciation will make it easy for you to convey your message for the listener. Now look at these sentences or these words and choose the correct word.
Cut.
Yeah. If you say cat or kit, or you want to say cut, but you pronounce it in a different way, you might produce things like this: cat, cat, coat. So it will give you another meaning. Number one, number two, which is the correct one. Build, built, build, burnt.
Built.
Yeah. Can you say build?
No, if it's a build, it should be builds.
Yeah. So here, if you say build, it will have another problem, which is related to grammar. This milk is we should throw it away.
This milk is sour.
This one or this one?
I think the first one, which is sour, I think.
Yeah. Sour, it means that its taste is bad. And you did the mistake. You meant this, but you choose this. And this is what I want you to make sure while you are in the speaking test, because pronunciation affects the meaning. And if you make some sort of pronunciation mistakes, it will get your score lower in the pronunciation feature. And as I told you, we have 4 features in the speaking test: pronunciation, fluency and coherence, grammar, and vocab. 4 things, and each one of these 4 counts for 25% of the speaking test. Now, what is another feature of pronunciation is stress. What are the differences in pronunciation between photograph, photographer?
The stress.
The stress. Where is the stress in the first word? Photograph.
I think in the first syllable.
And where it is in the second word?
Photographer, like second or.
Yeah. Photograph, photographer. Stress shifts from one word to another. In the English words with 2 or more syllables, 1 syllable will be stressed. Only one. يعني stressed, it means that it will be louder and longer in time. Photograph, photographer. But also you need to pronounce it in a natural way. You don't need to show that it is stressed or not stressed naturally. Also, 2 words may be very similar to each other. The stress may be maybe on a different syllable. How can you make sure that you are pronouncing the word in a good stress? Just use any of the dictionaries to make sure. Collins, for example, dictionary, or Cambridge, it will give you the pronunciation, stress, and everything, some information about the word. For example, you write photographer.
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 Photographers.
And usually the stress is marked here in some dictionaries like this. Here in Collins dictionary, they underline the stressed syllable. So this one, it will be weak. 1, weak, weak. The only strong syllable is this one, which is stressed. If you write photograph only, photograph, notice the difference. For photograph.
Photograph.
Photograph. So the second syllable is not strong as it was in the first word.
Photograph. Photograph. Photograph.
Right? This is a better way of looking into photograph and to stress. Also, you can look into the stress pattern in English and try to learn how to differentiate between them. Between We have word stress, we have sentence stress, and many other features. For example, the difference between this word, these two words, can you pronounce them and know the difference?
Yeah, the first one is like the same desert and dessert, but
Which
it
one is
must be
desert?
oh,
Which
they're
one
the
is
same.
desert? Not the
The
same.
same.
The first one is dessert, so the stress on the second syllable. The second
Yeah,
one is dessert,
Is
stress in the first syllable. It's like present and present. The same word, but the stress is different. The same word, but the stress is different. So things like this, you should take care of when you are doing your IELTS test. طبعا ما فيش قاعده للستريس الا يعني في بعض الباترنز كده. اوكي فبناخد يعني مثلا word لو كان فيها two type of words, two syllables, noun and adjectives. Okay, stress in the first syllable. Apple, table, happy. Words which can be used as both nouns and verbs. The tendency, the noun has a stress in the first syllable, with the verb has a stress in the second syllable. For example, you are the suspect. So the first syllable as a noun, suspect. I suspect. So you stress the second syllable. It's like present and present. يعني الكلمات اللي ممكن تستخدم noun and verb at the same time بس حسب معناها في موقعها في الجملة طبعا. For example, I gave my father a present. Okay. I presented a workshop. Presented. It means some sort. It's different because it's used as a verb. Present, present. Compound nouns. إيه اللي هيحصل؟ Usually they have two stresses, but the first noun is more stressed than the other. Hairbrush, football, and so on. I will give you like the link and if you want to study more about it. So pronunciation is about pronouncing correct pronunciation of individual sounds. It's about stress. What else? You can look into the pronunciation of these words in the dictionary. For example, democracy, airport, report, avenue, music, musician, imagination. Now we go to sentence stresses. What is the difference between these words, these two sentences? The teacher said that Kathy stole the bracelet from Ellen. The teacher said that Kathy stole the bracelet from Ellen. What is the difference?
in the first one, the emphasis is on the name, like the person itself.
Yeah.
But the other one is on the action.
Katie.
The second one in the action, exactly. Maybe the second one, the speaker is astonished. He can't believe himself, or he is confirming that يعني بيأكد إن الفعل نفسه. لكن the first one he's just focusing on who did this action. أحيانا في الجملة بيبقى فيه ستريس على نوعية معينة من الكلمات. في الغالب بيبقى الستريس بصفة عامة على الكلمات الرئيسية في الجملة ما عدا كلمات الجرامر. ده يعني مش لازم أقول زي أو ذا. طبعا هنا المفروض بقول ذا لأن طبعا بعديها حرف ساكن. The teacher ومش لازم أظهرها. The teacher said that Kathy stole the bracelet from Ellen. وبعدين الانتونيشن بينزل لان this is like statement. Here the second one, the teacher said that Kathy stole bracelet from killing. And you shouldn't talk like this about also in the natural way. In English, we emphasize the most important words in a sentence by pronouncing them more slowly and loudly. More slowly and loudly. This is number one. Now look at these word sentences and read them and think about which words should be stressed. طبعا yeah, in general words like train, Glasgow, 20 minutes, late، كل ده ليهم ستريس. الا لو انا هعمل فوكس على كلمه معينه هطلعها اكثر اهميه لو عايز ستريس. ممكن تكون لو انا قلت 20 minutes يبقى انا اقصد اخلي بالي من الرقم نفسه. give more attention to the number. I bought your books. Bought books on the shelf. Did you fly to New York when you were in the States? تعتبر main verb. I don't think I have ever read that book. ده in general. However, لو انت عايز تأكد حاجة معينة, if you want يعني to give more attention to any of these parts, you have to give it يعني extra stress. طيب, the water in the lake is a nice blue color. What are the weakest words or syllables in this sentence? The weakest. The water. Has weakest words, not just one word. Lake is a nice blue color. Yeah. هنا طبعا في الاسترس زي ما انا عملت ستريس على الكلمات الرئيسيه في الجمله اللي هم بسميها كلمات المحتوى او الكونتنت ووردز اللي هي دول اللي بيبقى فيهم ستريس. مش كده وبس, نفس الكلمه ممكن تبقى بكلمه محتوى بس فيها مقطع ضعيف ما بيتنطقش زي ووتر. الكلمات اللي خاصه بالجرامر, grammar words like the doesn't have any stress, shouldn't be stressed, will not be stressed. Okay, طبعا دي المفروض stressed. water, wall. This is stressed. Lake, stressed. Nice, blue color. والستريس دايما بيجي على الحرف المتحرك او الصوت المتحرك في الكلمه. Okay. The sound we use for unstressed syllables is called the schwa. طبعا sounds of English اللي هم بسميهم, انا عارف I know that English has 26 letters but it has 44 sound. You can have an idea about how the sounds here, the sounds of English. الأصوات في اللغة الإنجليزية 44 صوت, لكن الحروف كم؟ How many letters?
26.
26. The key problem in English actually is in reading and pronunciation is this difference in between the written language and the spoken language. الكلمة اللي كأني عندي لغتين, لغة منطوقة ولغة مكتوبة. المشكلة في ان الحروف بتاعت الانجليش ما بتساعدش على النطق الصحيح مهما كان، فبالتالي لازم I have to make sure that my pronunciation is adjusted to the correct English pronunciation. طبعا دي الحروف، دي الاصوات بتاعت الانجليزي زي ما بشوفها في القاموس. 44 sounds. This is a phonemic chart. بس انا في واحد تاني بيبقى معاه الحروف يكون افضل بس مش عارف فين. اوكي. This one, okay. So if you want to learn these sounds, and you can go to the BBC, for example, like this, and try to learn how these sounds are pronounced and the letters, الليترز المرتبطة بها في الألفابet. For example, this is called sound, 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 o sound, شواه. والشواه دي رمز لأي صوت متحرك أو يعني مقطع غير مشدد، غير مسترز. يعني زي ما for example water, I will say water. The second syllable is not stressed, so we say this is like this and this is and this is دول الحروف اللي هم short vowels او الاصوات اللي short vowels. بيمثلهم طبعا حروف شبههم احيانا بس ممكن تكون مختلفه احيانا اخرى. This is called cup sound, sound, for example month and so on. Long vowels like e, u, a, o, شوا، لونج شوا، بيرد. وطبعا عندي ديفثونجز اللي هي كل دي في الحروف الاصوات المتحركه يعني. ايه، او، اي، اوي، ايو، ايه، او، اي. بعدين عندي الاصوات الساكنه ب بيمثلها حرف ب، ت بيمثلها حرف ت. طبعا كل حرف من دول ليه اخ تاني، اوكي، نوت فويسد، يعني بمعنى ان انا ما بهزش الاحبال الصوتيه وانا بنطق. فمثلا ده بيهز الاحبال الصوتيه اللي هو الب ساوند. هو هنا طبعا انت بتختار الحرف، بتشوف الاكزامبلز، بتشوف الفيديو بتاعه اهو. For example this one.
This is a voiced consonant. You can hear it at the beginning of the word back and bag, in the middle of the words hobby and habit, at the end of the word job, and at the beginning and end of the word bob. Now you try. Listen and repeat after me. Back, bag, hobby, habit, job, bob. Okay.
So this is about the sound itself, and you can download examples for it. Sound ب, for example back. دي انا بكتب كده لكن الصوت اللي بمثله كده. How many letters are there here in the word back?
4.
4. How many sounds?
3.
3. ده الفرق مهم جدا طبعا. Baby for example has 1 2 3 4 letters. It has 1 2 3 4 sounds. Job 1, 2, 3 letters. How many sounds? 1, 2, 3. طبعا حرف الج هنا بنطق ج sound ج. الاو قصيره فانطقها job ومش عارف job. It doesn't matter actually American ولا British الاثنين صح. مش كده برضه ولا ايه؟
مظبوط.
نطلع في فيديو واعمل شغلانه على كلمه ما تستاهلش يعني. What do you think؟
I
طيب
do
مثلا
agree.
هنا مثلا لو عايز اشوف ده ايه فبعمل كده اهو وبروح على الفيديو بشوفه هعرف الصوت ده ايه.
This is a consonant sound. Now in English, you will never find it at the beginning of a word because it only comes at the end of a syllable.
So this sound only comes at the end. Usually it's the letter N with G or K.
So you find it in the middle of the word anger and the middle.
هلاحظ كلمة anger بالبريتش الامريكان anger anger الان وراها جي. فايه اللي حصل؟ الان حصل لها ايه؟ بتنطق من الخلف زي الخنفان كده وزي الغنة عندنا كده في العربي لو بتقرا قرآن anger.
Of the word thanks, and at the end of the word.
Look at this word thanks.
Listen to these examples and repeat after me. Wrong. Anger. Thanks. Okay.
طبعا خلي بالي ان
Now it can be difficult to hear the difference between this sound and another similar consonant Listen carefully. Rung, run, rung, run. Now n is made at the back of the mouth and n is made behind the teeth. Now you try. Listen and repeat. Rung. Run.
الفرق بس ان اللي هي الانج بتبقى من نهايه الحلق ورا لكن الان just after the mouth or the teeth here run. Okay, if you want to see more examples or see the examples just put here in the poster symbols ing, for example ring, anger, thanks, sung. لازم الهواء يطلع من from your nose. This is about how can you master the pronunciation. I will share with you the link. ده كده بالنسبة للindividual sounds. As I told you, we have 44 sounds, but we have only 26 letters. I will share it with you here in the chat box. Okay, and I will share with you also the second session, which will start after this session. It will start at 10.